Universal Tees. It's the People's Podcast with your girl Toya, and this episode is called Singular Vision. So, boom, I'm gonna get right to it. Y'all be so worried about who is supporting your vision, who's coming with you to the top, who's gonna be there at everything you do, who's gonna have your back for everything. You worried about everybody being there for you, but you being there for yourself. That's how we starting. That's it. Okay? So, yeah, we going in. I've been at work all day. I ain't got time to waste. So, with that being said, I always like to talk about how I came up with episode titles. So, singular vision, y'all know I love a good definition. The word singular is referring to just one person or thing. And then, I don't know if y'all knew, but when I knew, I was like, dang, I ain't know. So, did y'all also know that the word singular means exceptionally good or great or remarkable? Singular means exceptionally good, great, or remarkable. And so, when the SPED teachers knew that? Oh, I was about to say, y'all knew? But when I think about that, being singular, being by yourself, having something that is exclusive to you, being exceptional already, we assume that having affiliations, being in a network, being in a group, being affiliated with something else makes us exceptional. But to know that the word singular means to be exceptional was like, okay, so being a singular person is exceptional. Then the word vision in this title means the ability to think about or plan the future with imagination or wisdom. And so when we start to have these extraordinary visions by ourselves, they come from not just a feeling, but from wisdom. You go through life, you realize what change needs to happen, and from that wisdom, you create your vision. Just like this podcast, I experienced some things in life. I got wise, and I was like, somebody needs to hear this. So my wisdom created the vision that I see for this. We don't get visions unless we are wise. We don't get visions unless we have some idea of the future. If you talk to people who haven't thought about their future, they have no wisdom. They ain't thinking about that. They don't have vision. And sometimes when we talk about singular vision, the reason that those people can't come with you is because vision has to deal with the future. Some people can't see past the next blunt they gonna smoke. Some people can't see past the next time they about to go out and turn up. Some people can't see past the next person they're going to date. So, of course, they're not going to believe in your singular, exceptional vision because their vision doesn't have a future attached to it. And that was just definitions, right? So then I was like, boom, y'all know how they be like, oh, somebody is a visionary, right? We adding a little suffix to the word. All my teachers in the room. And so a visionary means that somebody is able to see visions, and we just talked about what that is, in a dream, a trance, or an apparition. So I'm thinking dream. If you know me, dreaming is big. I have the word tattooed on my finger. So a person who is a visionary is somebody who has dreams, who sees their future with wisdom, who's experienced life enough to know that who they are and how they walk in their journey is exceptional by itself, by themselves. They're not concerned about who sees the same vision as them. They're not concerned about who's going to support the vision that they have. They just know that that is their vision, and even if it's something that they have to tackle on their own, it is exceptional and extraordinary. Amen? Purr. Okay. Whew, it's hot. And if at any point you all want to talk, please spare me this little light hot. So come and talk on the mic. And I got some questions for y'all, so be ready too. The first point that I want to speak to is when we have dreams, visions, goals, and we're trying to get from one place to another. And every time I say dreams, I don't mean CEO of a company. I don't mean being a billionaire. I don't mean owning X amount of establishments. I mean really being happy every day. That's a dream. That's a vision. I really mean being a healthy co-parent, because I be hearing the baby daddy stories. I don't got one, but I'm just saying. But these are also dreams and visions. And that's another thing That's another thing that I want to say is don't compare what your vision is to the next person's. Because these singular visions, singular is the operative word. Just because their vision is that does not mean that it has to be yours. And the way that they get to their vision may not look like the way that you get to yours, and that's okay. All right? So the first point that I want to speak to is that you haven't met everybody that's going to support you yet. We come to this age as we grow older where it's like, I want my circle to be tight. My friends are my people. I don't really want no outside people. And so because you've invested everything and all of your being into these people, you feel like they have to see and understand where you're going. That's not true. Just because you my friend and I explain a vision to you, that don't have to make sense to you. That don't make you any less of my friend for me saying like, yo, I have this dream, I have this plan, this is what I want to do, and your friend be like, I don't really get that. I don't really see how that can be. Now, it's different if your friend being shady and like, girl, that's stupid. Your friend should not tell you your dreams are stupid, okay? That's not what I'm saying. But even if they're like, not really understanding or they can't show up in a way that you want them to, it literally is because they can't understand your mind and your vision. It doesn't mean they don't love you. It doesn't mean they don't support you. It doesn't mean that they won't help you if you ask. It just literally means that the way that you see this vision is you're the only person that can do it. God gave you the vision, not your friend. And God didn't even tell you to explain your vision to your friend, to be honest, because that's all you. That's where y'all get messed up, is because you feel like everybody got to know what you plotting and scheming on and doing. And then you get discouraged when, one, somebody doesn't agree, two, somebody steal your idea, or three, somebody tells you it don't make no sense. That vision was given to you. It's for you to see it through. It's for you to learn yourself enough to feel like you can fulfill that vision. So you haven't met the people that support you. You might be in a lane that nobody else has. My friends are not podcasters. My friends are not people who are trying to build a business around speaking. But if y'all see, my friends are the people that are in the audience. But if I were going off the fact that nobody in my circle did what I did, I wouldn't do what I do. You know what I mean? And so don't get so attached to a person, a thing, a group, that you fall to the wayside with what you know is true to you. Having a vision that is singular is literally that. God gave it to you. It feels lonely because it is, boo. You the only one with it. You the only one that can do it. And so you have to really feel and believe that. And don't tear down or discredit your friends for not having the same vision as you, for not having the same type of drive. Your friend might be the same type of person who's going to accomplish great things, but they might be in their resting season. Don't call them lazy just because you in your hustle season. You got to be able to respect that everybody is on a different path and a different journey. Like this sweat that's trying to journey down my head. Come on up to the mic. Anonymous.
I said I wasn't gonna get on the mic, but I'm gonna get on the mic. I'm gonna make this one point.
Okay.
So something that is resonating with me as you're talking is that
teacher voice.
My teacher voice. Okay. So sometimes when you're good at something, you can confuse that with what your dream is just because you're talented. So like a lot of us in here are educators, and we're good at being used to be. So we like get used to that, and you're like, well, I'm good at this, so I'm gonna just stay in this lane. When in reality, when you think about what your dreams are, it's way different than what you're good at. So I just wanted to add that piece.
And shout out to Anonymous for that for that topic. And that also makes me think that just because you have many things that you're good at, you're not called to do everything. My calling, I can be good. I done had a lot of jobs. I was a good clerk at that gas station in college. I was the best cash ringer up in there. I was the best associate at Macy's. I was good at that drive-thru at Captain D's. But who was about to stay there? You know? And so what it makes me think of is that you should do the thing that keeps you up at night. And I don't mean the thing that keeps you not up at night anxious and worried and scared, because, baby, that was teaching on a Sunday evening. That kept me up at night. But podcasting and speaking and helping people and touching people and broadening this platform, I literally wake up out of my sleep with ideas that I have to write down. It keeps me up at night. And I really think that that's God or the universe, whomever you believe in, tapping you on your shoulder, saying, you have work to do. You have work. This is the work that I need you to do. And I've realized, too, that if you can stay up, if I could have stayed up for hours writing lesson plans and calling parents and figuring these things out, I can stay up for hours building the future that I want for me. Because at the end of the day, doing a job or a thing that you're good at, just because I'm good at it don't mean I like it. I'll tell y'all, my tea, when I quit my job teaching, the first thing that the principal came to tell me is that you're so good at it. And I said in my evaluation the last day, and I told them I've hated working here for the last 4 months. And you didn't know because I'm good at it, you know? And so you really have to be true to what you feel inside of you and take that leap of faith. But also, I was told recently, having a calling isn't enough. You have to believe in your calling. Because there are people with a quarter of your talent that probably have 20,000 times more motivation and drive than you, that are going to get it before you, and you're going to be too busy talking shit about them, saying, but they can't do it like me, but you ain't do it. Show them how to do it then. So we can't get stuck in to the point that Latrice was making, like, just because I'm good at something doesn't mean I should stay there. I mean, Anonymous point. That just because you're good at something doesn't mean you're going to stay there, and you haven't met your supporters. You know what I mean? There were people who supported me in the classroom because they knew I was a great teacher, but they didn't want me to leave. They weren't saying, like, yes, go follow your dreams. They were saying, yes, stay here and help me make more money for this bullshit-ass education system. You know what I mean? So you really got to be true. I haven't met all my supporters. I haven't met a whole network full of podcasters. I've met business owners. I have amazing friends who I've met, but just I can't get discouraged in saying that these people don't get my dream. These people don't get the vision that I have, because I just haven't met them yet. When I do what I do, I'm going to be afforded those opportunities. Even this space, right? I sat down with the owner, shout out to Hyacinth, the owner of Tropic, where we are, and I was like, yo, I'm in all of these spaces, I'm meeting so many people, but nobody really understands what I'm trying to do. And she literally told me, like, that's because you're the only one that can do it. Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 And you got to believe that, because other people are going to be passionate about their thing. And, baby, if you fit any way into their agenda to help them get to where they got to go, they going to recruit you. And you got to have the same type of oomph for your own thing. Somebody is going to literally call you out and be like, yo, I feel like you're a good speaker. You should come and speak to this organization. And I'm going to be like, well, I am a professional speaker. Where my coin? You got to be able to tell people, like, this is what I do. This is my art. Like Erykah Badu said, keep in mind I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my... Y'all better stop cussing up in here. But you really have to believe in what you do. You really have to believe in what you see, because, like I said, if y'all was at Beautiful Bridges Part 2, some people are not going to see what you're doing until that bridge starts to be built above the water. You sitting there telling people your plans and they plotting on your demise. Just let them start to support you once they see what you're doing. People going to join the bandwagon. People going to get on. People going to be on. And if they not on, they still going to see you. And even if they don't see you, if you have the impact and the drive and the passion within yourself, they going to feel you, so they ain't got no choice. I can guarantee you, you could walk down this street and ask everybody if they know who Beyonce is, and they going to say yes. You might have a hater along the way that say she ain't all that, she ain't that good, but you know who she is. You know the type of work that she does. So do what you got to do in your own way. Kill the noise, yeah? And so stay focused on you. And so the next point that I have is don't worry about, as you're elevating, as you're getting new ideas for how you want to raise your kids, for how you want to do your job, for the business that you want to build, don't worry about who's still going to be around. Don't worry about who's still going to be around, because the people that are around you might not be around when you go. And I don't mean that in a shady way. I mean that in a way that the people who are around you may not be doing the same thing you're doing. So you can't get mad when your best friend doesn't go to this business convention with you, because, baby, I ain't trying to be a business owner, so why would I go there? But I'm going to support you, friend. But you can't be so attached to your friend that when they go to that or when they do something different outside of you, you worried about that. That can't hold you back. It's the chicken wing orders for me. And the Patron. You got a whole thing of Patron for yourself? Oh, that's one drink. I'm over here looking at drinks. The next thing that I wanted to point out, you can't be worried about who's still going to be around, because you're going to meet people along the way. You just have to make sure on this journey of being better, doing better, accomplishing more, that you are still there for yourself mentally. Because what I'm learning on the way up, you are going to run into things that you never imagined you would experience, and you have to make sure that every step along the way you are there for yourself. You have to be there for yourself when you don't understand something. You have to be there for yourself when you open your mind to learn something new. You have to be there to yourself when life happens, when you lose somebody passes away, somebody's not your friend, you have an argument with your partner. You still have to be able to chase and fulfill your vision. Don't worry about who's still around. You're the only person that you need to make sure is around for you until the end, because you're going to meet people along the way, and you're going to learn more about yourself in the process. So you have to chase that. Don't worry about who's still going to be around, because they might not be around. And to that point, even more, your target audience, right? So as we're growing, your target audience or your network may not be your current circle. I found that we try to please the people around us so much. We go and seek approval, like, oh, do you like this? What do you think about this idea? When I say your target audience or your network might not be your circle, if you think about the shape of a circle, right? Your circle is cool. We love to brag that, like, my circle's small, my circle tight, my circle is small as a period. We love to say that. But when you're thinking about growing and expanding in your own right and in your vision, circles are closed for a reason. So if you are only trying to please the people in your circle, that's as far as your dreams gonna go, is in that circle. Okay? And so when you open up your circle, no, not when you open up your circle. When you open up your mind to broaden your network, that doesn't mean you're letting people get more access to you personally. It literally just means that you are allowing more people to experience your gift and your calling. There's a difference. So we love to say my circle's small, I don't want to talk to anybody, but that doesn't mean that your network has to be small. Growing a network or an audience doesn't mean more people have access to you. It just means that you are literally opening your life up for everybody to experience your blessings, your gifts, your callings, your talents. God didn't give you a gift just for you and your best friend to experience. God gave you a gift so that it is boundless, okay? Keep your circle small, but open up your network. Yeah? Okay, and so I said that when we have these gifts, these dreams, these talents, these callings, those come directly from God. They come from the universe. They come from something deep within inside of you based on your experience. And God never wanted those to be limited. So don't limit them to the people that are in front of you. He wants your goals and your dreams to be boundless, to be opened up. He literally wants your impact to be felt as abundantly as it can. But the access that people have to you is what should be limited. So just because you know what my gift is, that don't mean you got access to me. Just because you know I can sit on this platform and talk and speak to people, don't mean you should call me every day, because I ain't gonna answer. You know what I mean? And that has nothing to do with my passion for speaking. It's just like, put some respect on my gift, okay? Even Jesus wasn't talking in the Bible every day. I'm just saying, y'all know when that red text come up, that's Jesus. He wasn't talking the whole time, okay? Like, we ain't, don't disrespect my gift like that. I need some time to gather myself, okay? Whew. Okay, next one. So, as we grow, right, there's more demand. Even in this, right, as I grow, there's more demand for me to meet people, to know people, to talk to people, to get to know people, to learn things. But don't let the growth and demand for your gifts move you away from your vision. And so the way that I came up with this is I realized that as I'm trying to figure out how to make Universal Teas a business, I realized that I wasn't podcasting. I was so busy trying to make it a business that I was like, yo, this isn't fun. Like, the thing that I love to do, I'm not doing. I'm just so stuck in this mindset of getting people to know that it's a thing. And so I literally had to return to myself and make like a little Google Calendar in my phone so I get notified every day, like, it's Universal Teas time. Like, every day, speak to your vision, do your gift, do your calling. Because if you're so focused on the growth, right? I just want to grow. I just want to make more money. Think about somebody who will do anything for more money. If you just want more money, you don't care what you do for it. You know what I mean? At first, it was like, yo, I'm a bartender. I make all this money. Then it turned into like, somebody came to the bar and told me I look good. So I went to amateur night at the strip club. Like, now I'm addicted to money and not my gift of bartending. So really know that whatever it is, stay close and connected to your calling and your passion and your vision. Be very clear on the steps that you're willing to take and those that you are not willing to take when you're on your way to your vision. Because I realized that when I got so focused or even overwhelmed with the idea of this becoming a business, I didn't enjoy it anymore. I was like, I got to a point mentally where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, it's too demanding that I don't enjoy podcasting anymore. So you really got to figure out why you do what you do. I had to tap into why. Why did I buy this stuff? Why did I buy a microphone? Why did I get on the mic? Why am I inviting my friends out to come hear me speak? So you really have to tap into your why so that even as you grow, even as you have to learn new things, you don't shrink to the things that you don't know because you're so rooted in what your vision is. Child. This is where you tap into your people, though. So I'm realizing that when you have a newborn baby, or when you have a baby in general, when you have kids, you're not letting your baby stay at anybody's house. You're not letting anybody hold your newborn baby. You're not just about to go on babysitter.com and pick the first person that come up. You're not. Be in the same mindset when it comes to your passion and your vision, because I'm getting to this point where it's like, yes, I need people, and it's about to be a question for y'all, so somebody about to come to this mic. Yes, I have this vision and this passion to grow in this way, but how do I find the people that I trust with my passion, baby? You know what I mean? How do you figure out who those people are? Because just like you wouldn't let nobody hold your newborn baby, how do you figure out who you gonna let babysit your child? And so it's the same thing when you're thinking about your growth and your vision and your passions, is you have to, yes, tap your people in, but why and how much can you trust those people? Because this is your baby. This is something that I literally grew from nothing. So to just say, like, you got to call somebody or you got to trust this person, it's like, but can I? Am I? Like, when I fall short and I'm not feeling motivated, can I really trust them to uphold the standard for my passion that I have? Are they as excited and dedicated and committed to my passion as me, or are they gonna feel like I'm just getting on their nerves asking them for something? So you have to find who those people are. For example, it could be the smallest things, like even this event. Like, every time I have a podcast event, one of my friends has on my Universal Teas t-shirt, and I don't even be thinking about that. I don't even be, period. Shout out to the Universal Teas. And so, period. And so that is a small way, because I wasn't thinking about that. I'm just thinking about getting here. And they like, yeah, my shirt is pressed and ready. But it's like, those are people who I can trust with my vision, because they went to work today, but it was in their mind that I got to show up for my friend in this way. So figure out how can you trust people with your goals, with your visions, with your passions, and know that you have to be able to walk away from your stuff sometimes. Like, yo, I need a break. Can you handle this for me? Find those people for your visions. Yes? Woo! Okay. And so this is a question for y'all. People who have people. How do you open yourself up to find the people who you trust with your visions and your goals and your passions? How are you opening yourself up to that? Step to the mic, step to the mic.
So this is so they can hear me, right?
They can't see you.
No, this is so they can hear me, though.
Yeah.
I feel like, one, you
Talking
really...
to the mic.
Oh, okay.
I know it's a little short. You know
Okay.
I'm short.
I feel like, one, when you feel that you're, like God is giving you a gift, when you feel like God has given you a gift, those people find you, right? And what was the second part to your question?
It was just, how do you open yourself up to find those people? That was the first part. And then it's also like, how do you find or trust people with your passion babies?
I feel like you also have to, like, have shared values with people. You know, you gotta see people for who they truly are. That's the only, I'm not gonna try to even do too much. That's my two answers.
So share values, and then when you're doing what you need to do, your people will find you.
And trust the
people.
Trust. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them.
Okay, when somebody show you who I believe them. Amen.
All
Next
right.
caller.
So for me, I feel as though when you surround yourself with like-minded people
Yes.
who are hungry, just as hungry as you are and passionate as you are, that naturally motivates you for one, but you naturally have like a trust built within people, because it's like, y'all want it, y'all want y'all vision, I want my vision, y'all working hard for yours, I'm working hard for mine. And that just drives you and motivates you to go harder, too.
Yeah, that definitely also sounds like shared values for people. And so the last point that I want to make is like the steps. So I would say when you are on this road to fulfilling a singular vision, you need to be willing to kill the noise. Because this vision is so specific to you, you have to be able to kill the noise, meaning you stop taking advice. I know that sounds crazy. You stop taking advice. You stop asking people how they feel about what you're doing. You stop asking people their opinions about what you're doing. Let your inner voice guide you. Oh, thank you so much. I'm taking a water break. Thank you for that. But yeah, so when you are chasing your dreams and your visions and your passion and they're specific to you, you have to kill the noise so that the only voice you hear are yours and God's, yours in the universe, yours in a higher power. And you have to literally let that flow. Don't hold yourself back. Don't criticize yourself. Don't criticize how you do what you do. Do it. You are going to fuck up at some point. Keep going. Learn from those mistakes. And so this could also be helpful and supportive, but it could overwhelm you, right? So sometimes we don't want to be in silence. We don't want to sit with ourselves. But you have to be self-reassuring and understand that this moment of solitude, this space that I'm in where nobody gets me, nobody understands me, that is literally your message that you need to be by yourself and let your inner voice flow. God has something he's trying to tell you, so separate yourself and let your inner voice speak until you are clear on how you need people to step in. That's a big thing for me, right? So sometimes I can come off as like not wanting help, but it be like, no, I need to be able to tell you what I need help with, because otherwise it feels like intrusive on my shit. Like, I know that I can trust you. I know that you're great in this area, but give me a minute to process what I need. Let my inner voice speak to me so that I can come to you and tell you how I need you. You know what I mean? And trust that I'm going to do that. Trust that I love you and care about you and trust you enough to be able to trust you with my vision in that way. But you have to be able to tell people, I'm not ready to entertain that right now, but I promise I'm going to double back. I appreciate you for being passionate about my dream and my vision, but you literally have to give yourself space, time, and opportunity to just fill it out. Because you may be in a space like me where it's like I'm trying to make sure I contact people directly and tell them exactly how I need them to show up for me so that I won't be confused about what it is that they're doing or if they're doing what I need them. Like, no, friend, I need you in this way. I need this type of advice from you. I need this type of connection that I know that you have. So first step to fulfilling your singular vision is to get alone and let yourself free yourself. Do what you need to do. Let yourself speak. Let God speak to you and don't hold yourself back. And then second, when you do that, go and ask for help. Tap your people in, but be very clear about who you need to tap in and what you need them for. Trust the process. Don't rush the process. And so set the tone. Who said that? Trust the... Set the tone. Control the pace. You are on nobody's timeline but your own. Okay? You are on nobody's timeline but your own. Okay? Give time and give people the opportunities to see their visions through. Being supportive does not always mean that you are there for everything. Being supportive in the best way can mean that you are there when that person needs you. You know? So with that being said, your singular exceptional vision is yours. The thing that keeps you up at night, not the thing that keeps you anxious at night, is what you should fulfill yourself in doing. Stop asking for advice. I feel like people are not going to like that. But stop asking people if they're okay with your calling because they probably won't understand it. Push your calling out, and the people who love it, support it, are there for you, are going to show up. And don't be surprised if it's not the people in your circle. Okay? You want to talk about being a product of your environment and what else? How being a product of your environment? Ask me a question.
So how does being a product of your environment affect how you can step into your vision, right? Because a lot of times I feel like we want better, but we keep ourselves in the same space. We have the same patterns, we keep up the same habits, we're around the same type of people, and that can hold you back from
What's that? So you said you're a little bit ahead of the people that are in your environment? I wish I was on the mic so I could hear y'all. No, I just can't hear the conversation.
Essentially right. If you're the big dog around a bunch of people who just are very intermediate or just, new to it, complacent, you're not really doing nothing for real. But you have to be honest with yourself, like being able to push yourself and be like, am I in a space with people who are leading me? Like, am I like, dang, like that's new information, I never thought about that? Or are you around people where you always giving advice and like always feeling like you the big dog? Like that, if you're comfortable in this space, you really not pushing yourself for real. Yeah. But that's when you need to learn to acknowledge it yourself.
Yep.
And remove yourself from that situation. And it's not that you're eliminating your friends or you're dissing them, but like you said, your mentality is much more mature than where they're at, and it's stopping you from getting where you're trying to go. So that's when you have to start distancing yourself from what's holding you back.
And I think that comes with belief, too, because that's scary. If my environment is all I know, and I know that these people got my back in a way that has shown and proved itself time and time again in this world, I don't know nobody on that side. Yeah, and you just gotta have the courage to open yourself up to the other side. But it's scary. But everybody's not gonna do that. So maybe you are the chosen one, and that's a word that's been living within me for a long time. It's chosen, 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 chosen. Everybody's not chosen. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep, 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 yep. Yeah. Yep, yep. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And this fear too comes from childhood, I think. What has childhood made you afraid of? Is it judgment? Is it people lying to you? Is it people walking out on you? Your childhood, I think, is what develops your fear. Have you ever seen anybody in your family do or say or speak or live in this way? And so recognize, that's what I mean, like getting deep rooted into who you are. And stay tuned for a little workshop that I'm gonna do about self-awareness to kind of unpack that for us. But yeah, being self-aware is also important. Hey, Anonymous.
Anonymous is back. So I wanted to add something, and I'm glad that you changed it over to self-awareness because I didn't want to change the subject. But another thing is you have to recognize when things, like let's say you want to support your friend, but the way they want you to support them is not the way that you want to support them. You know what I mean? Like somebody, their way is like, oh, I want you to show up to this thing. But you're like, listen, I'm not in a mental space where I can do that, but I can support you in this way. So I've been dealing with that with a lot of my friends, not realizing like, okay, I know you want me to show up to this, but right now that's not really how I want to show up for you. But let me show up for you in this way still. Right. But people just being aware, okay with that. So just being aware of yourself and like what you're able to do and not like compromising that either. So, you know. Yeah.
So to me, it sounds like the friend isn't self-aware. You are, because you're able to name, like, I'm not mentally able to show up. The friend isn't self-aware or self-secure enough to be like, friend, I feel you next time. Because if you know me, like, when people say they can't come to these, I'll be like, well, I'm going to keep sending you the invite. So whenever you can make it, pull up. Like, I'm going to just keep sending you the invite. And so I think that's the thing too. And it's okay to reevaluate people. I'm always in a state of evaluation of the people in my life. That don't mean like I think something is happening, but it's like, are you able to rock with me through all of these different phases, through all of these ups and downs when I ain't calling nobody for days and weeks at a time? Like, are you still gonna rock with me? You know what I mean? If I just do a check-in like, friend, you good? All right, cool, bye. Like, you gotta be able to find the people who understand you in every phase of who you are. But to speak to like the environment that we grow up in, unfortunately, and fortunate for some people who have really healthy environments, that's just our starting points. You have to know or do the work to understand that it may not be the best starting point, and then from there decide what you want and how much you're willing to work to get out of that situation. But our environment literally shapes who we are in every aspect of our lives, and we can't do anything about that. All we can do is make ourselves aware and not run away from what it is, because we're never gonna grow outside of that if we're not able to name it. Yeah? Any other things on our hearts and minds? Anything else on our hearts and minds? All right. With that being said, the vision that you have is singular, but remember the word singular means remarkable. So being by yourself in this light, in this vision, having this idea that nobody really understands or can pick up, that's okay. It's remarkable, actually, because that means that you won't have anybody trying to influence what it means for you. And the vision that you have, the dream that you keep seeing every time you wake up and you have this idea, this plan that you wrote down that is yours. You're alone and you're feeling by yourself because you're the only one that can do it. You're the only one that's called. That doesn't mean that it's impossible. It actually means the opposite. You just have to be the one willing to do the work. And with that being said, thank you all for joining me for another episode of Universal Teas. I will see y'all right back here next time. And cut.